Hello. I think we are here. We're going to create the podcast. Gut. Dann werden wir do. Now I have to go over here. Okay, cool. And we are live. All right. Welcome, everyone. Today is Friday, the 10th month, 25th day of the year 2024. And we are looking at liquidity in the markets. And the first thing I notice is we got like a pretty nice eager bid cascade forming on SPY, which is unexpected. Unexpected, truthfully. As in, I did not expect it. But that's pretty ideal. If you're bullish, the LDPM's moving down like this. Again, eager bid. LDPS is green, so that's bullish. So we have bullish conditions and a new eager bid entering the scene. Seems pretty ideal. DJT is going up. Perhaps not too surprisingly, but that actually reminds me, I need to... I can't get too distracted, but you can look at all this while we... Here is ES on the 8, so we see we are currently flowing liquidity to the bid. If your LDPS does not say flow to bid just yet, no worries. It is a top center, a new feature coming soon. No, go back. How do you control Z my settings? Top center. Yeah, so we see some bearish liquidity on ES on the 8-minute. If we look at maybe, oh yeah, we also need the liquidity scanner. See how the market's doing overall. Takes a little minute. It's a chunky boy. Haha. Ooh, so it looks pretty good. So, well, I mean, we have some new formed bearish liquidity here. I assume TLT is bad or down since it's having some liquidity concerns. And then let's actually make sure we have full So let's just go ahead and, just in case, that way we're making sure we're all on the same setting. Although again, we don't need the scanner on everyone, that would be crazy. So yep, going down, that's what, 45-minute. So bearish LDPM is moving up, which means that there's technically, it's still a bid, but the concern is that if it continues up and then the price goes down, then what we're actually watching is a organic bid that's really moving up because it's becoming an ask, right? So whenever, especially because we see like LDPM was going and then just immediately started to kind of start moving for the price there. So bearish, definitely I would expect at least a test of LDPM at like 90, 91. So, but that's fine for now. We are testing this LDPM level, so if we fall through that on ES, a trip to 5860 seems in store, but LDPM, I'm pretty sure that's LDPM 144 seems to be holding ground reasonably well. But again, it is quite mixed, right? So we're LDPM 144 is providing a nice floor. There's must be a good chunk of bid here. And that bid is flowing liquidity up to the ask, but we can see it's really like meeting at the mid. So it's like, so you can picture it as like liquidity is flowing to the ask. There's someone reaching up, but as far as they're really able to get right now is at that mid. So they're not able to reach up to the ask, even though it's flowing to the ask. So that implies some downward pressure, right? Because we're meeting at the mid bid. So that's at best going to be a flat price to down, regardless of the liquidity flow. And we're at aggressive, so we're keeping tabs of things as they occur. So we'll keep an eye on that. Maybe pop this up. I probably spend the majority of my day on the 8-minute anymore. I've become a fan. All right, I gotta check the chats. I'm pretty sure chat is enabled this time. Discord message. And if there's anything in particular that you guys want to look at, just let me know. And then we can look at it. It's that pretty straightforward. So we're going to watch that for a while. We have Bitcoin over here doing some stuff. So we have right here, we had inverted, right? So that would be a bull trap. And we can, so what do I mean? Or like, why do I say that? Basically, if LDPM and LDPS are not in alignment, then I consider it inverted. So we have LDPMs are numbered. So this is 144 now. And then this is greater than 144. And then the orange one is greater than 144. You can look at the actual values here, right? So 144, the yellow is 377, and then the dark orange is 610. And normally you always want the lowest LDPM. You kind of want them stacked. So you want the lower ones closer to the price, and then as you move away from the price, you want the higher ones. But here we see that in this area we're sandwiched between, and this would still be technically a bearish orientation, although with, we would say, like some supply of bid. The fact that LDPM switched green, that is the indication that it's a inversed LDPM. So like here, if we took a slice, this is not inversed, right? This is upright. And then as soon as LDPM turns green, it becomes inversed. And then here though, it becomes red again, so we become upright. And the benefit of finding inversed LDPMs is that these are almost always traps. So if you find a inversed bullish, then that's a bull trap. And I'm sure we'll find one later, but if you see the opposite, where the price is kind of being shoved down, actually right here on ES, right? So say this does move down and LDPS stays red, then that tells us it's probably a bear trap, right? So unless the LDPM is telling us kind of where people are, where that liquidity is being held, and if liquidity just isn't following the eager activity in the market, then typically the market responds by just kind of moving things back to where they should be. Now, how it does that, who knows? Market magic is what we'll call it. But that's the beauty, is we don't need to know why or how. We just need to know when. And that is what these tools tell us. So that's that. What's Baba doing? I guess I have to check on all my positions, huh? I imagine not good. What's Baba? So cool. Wow. That's actually impressive. So we have like jumped. So we can see here, this was bear trap because this is inverted, right? We have the red, but we should see the lower, higher, right? But we see high, then low. So they're not stacked appropriately, so it's inverted. So that tells us what's cool is that this was likely going to be a bear trap, and it seems like it was. And we have liquidity is flowing up to the ask, and transactions are occurring at the ask. So that's pretty bullish for Baba. On the 90, let's do balanced. I feel like we're always, I do aggressive to kind of like move around, but balanced is good. And if you want, I feel like I always go to balanced if I want to really kind of just make sure I'm not looking for the answers that I want. Because balanced is kind of just, balanced. No, that's not what I want. All right. So yeah, Baba is bullish, and dare I say, right? It's kind of like a mixed, but 106. It's like quite the journey to go. About the 90. Yeah, I don't know. There's such huge like these like pockets of liquidity that the price just kind of, and that's what is curious about this little pocket, because it's like it's on the opposite side now. But bullish is as bullish is, right? But I feel like it's been so flippy floppy. So yeah, this is kind of the same thing we've been doing, right? So we look at the lower orders, it looks super bullish, and then we come up here to the daily and we see like the bigger picture of things, and maybe not so much, right? So like as we've fallen below LDPM here, we see that there is the predominant of the flow is moving to the bid, and that is in the presence of an eager ask. So we can surmise that there is an eager ask that is pushing and withdrawing liquidity at the bid, and that is bearish. So I kind of retract. So I'm fine with that. My position's on Baba. Let's see. Because, especially because these LDPMs aren't moving much. Like, another fun thing I like, because just the way that LDPM is designed, you can actually very nicely do this, right? And so that really only leaves the price to either move like here or to move here to meet LDPM with LDPM's current trajectory. So in either case, not too bullish. Like, I just don't like that it's flowing to the ask, or that there's an eager ask, liquidity is flowing to the bid, and there's such a big liquidity jump right here. Because that's how many? I guess we'll do from the current. 15%. So that doesn't, so if I did, even if I wanted to be bullish on Baba, you'd have to think that you would have to digest this eager ask, the bid would have to start flowing to the ask, and then you would have to make it up against this LDPM 144, which is now representing a organic ask because it's above the price. And that's a lot. It's a lot. I don't know. What about Tesla? Oh yeah, it had that big move, and it looks like it's doing fine. I'm actually surprised with how little LDPM has responded. Looks like the market is actually pretty okay with the price hanging up here. Looks like see, and this is cool, right? Because there are times, and I hate that I'm going to say this, but right, you'll notice that there were times of, I forget what this is. This is a pattern, a TA pattern. But what LDPS is really good at is telling us how exactly that's going to resolve, right? A lot of people, there's like all the charts. I think this one is a bullish flag, maybe. But we don't need it, but I say maybe because I don't even know, because LDPS is telling us it's green, so it's probably going to resolve on the upside, which is fascinating. But then we move up and we see that at least technically this is inverted, but we do see LDPM is kind of moving up. Oy. Okay, so maybe some turbulence. Uh-oh, a whole bunch of stuff just flashed red. What's going on up here? But on the 1 day, so we see that fell, became inverted. That tells us it's a bear trap. So we've moved up, and so it kind of looks like bullish is the way to go. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like on Tesla there's so much. We don't have all the LDPM, so we can't really see. But I have a suspicion that there's probably a lot of shorting happening here. Yeah, that's kind of what it looks like. We saw that similar with NVIDIA, where like as soon as the price appreciates, you get these like very eager low order asks that just kind of come in. And they always manage to push things down and invert. Which, if looking at LDPM and LDPS enough, you kind of start, I'm telling you, it's like reading an EKG. If you can read LDPM and LDPS, you should absolutely go pick up a book on EKGs, because it is the same, whatever part of the brain deciphers squigglies is absolutely, it's connected. Here's an eager bid, and then a whole bunch of ask comes in. Ask remains pretty dominant. Ask again. So we're like moving above that ask currently. It's like a weird position where it is technically bullish, but I don't think I would actually go bullish. Like, I feel like I would keep myself along LDPM here, right? Like maybe appreciate, and then any movement downwards or any like asks popping up, I would assume reversion down to the LDPM. So it's like hard to see, like it's like you just get so much ask whenever this appreciates that it's hard to have a bullish but maintained bullish outlook. Like the outlook is bullish, but it just with the environment and how aggressive this ask is, it's like, but maybe if I just pretend that LDPM is the price, maybe that has some profitability to it. Just kind of like use LDPM as like a mean reversion kind of technique. Yeah, it's still flowing to the bid on the daily for Baba. Anything exciting happen here? Are we early? Looks like SPY has some good support. What else? What did Hong Kong do? Hang Seng, sorry. I'm still convinced that they're going to 18. It just, we're flowing to the ask, but I don't know. It really hasn't been handling. That's a lot of ask up there too. I just feel like it's not. The organic bid is starting to creep up. If you can see that. Like ideally you would, if there was like, if organic bid was keeping with the price, so like maybe it's going down, but still we think, the organic bid is like happy to buy because it thinks that there will be even more future appreciation, more future value. Then we would like to see LDPM kind of like start to like shift down. and maintain its position as the organic bid as the price falls. And that's not what we're seeing, right? We see LDPM is continuing its northward trajectory, so the transition from bid to ask is still ongoing, and this is occurring as the price depreciates. And that, I think, puts, so even though everything is flashing green, I think this is where LDPS becomes difficult, because statistically you can, if you pick a random stock and just go long or short based off of LDPS, you're going to do fine. And so there's the part of LDPM and LDPS that says, stop looking so much into it. Green is green. But I think we have brains and we can use them occasionally. We can just see that the price is it's in a tenuous spot, right? And you can just use that as a means of risk measurement to figure out, yes, it's green, and so my outlook is technically bullish, but do I want to go like full size right now, right? Like, do conditions look like I guarantee your brain is better at picking up patterns than probably LDPM and LDPS, right? Like, the LDPM and LDPS are designed to pick up specific patterns that we can then kind of build on. And so this specific pattern says bullish, but good amount of ask, and no one is like jumping in, right? Things are kind of just floating down, and we're getting this casual, gradual transition from like being a bid to being an ask. So definitely a little mixed, like even a mixed LDPM, of course. So originally, like we didn't even get bull chant, like we went right into mixed versus like an inverted LDPM. We have an eager ask and we're flowing to the bid still. And on the 45-minute, that puts a floor at 20. We went back to balanced. We had been at aggressive, but balanced, yeah. And that's in the 90-minute. So things are still pretty bearish for HSI. Looks like we're still flowing to the ask, but we're still kind of meeting at the mid bid. Is it balanced or aggressive? Balanced. We'll keep it there. What else? Bitcoin. I said I had to check on my position, and then I just didn't. Flow into the bid. Yeah, it looks bearish. Right? Flow into the bid. We're kind of not really testing LDPM 387. I really need to figure out these, how to get these labels back up. So we have yeah, 610. So LDPM 610 seems like it's acting as a bit of a solid chunk of organic ask, and it doesn't look like. And so the concern would be if this organic ask starts to transition to an eager ask, which is kind of what we see. It hasn't said it explicitly yet, but if you're, flowing from the ask down to like the mid or the bid. So yeah, not the most bullish on the 90. And also the same on the 45. So we can see that LDPM is currently, looks like it was going up and then isn't now. So, but we'll say here. And we have a price point of around 67. coming up for Bitcoin, at least on the 45. But we can again see, as we talked about, this is inverted. So likely a bull trap. And it looks like the resolution of the bull trap is likely underway. Speaking of bull traps, does it matter? See, I wish. What do we got on oil? We're flowing to the ask. It's bullish, but it's like inverted, right? So another bull trap looks like it's forming, because we're flowing to the ask, so we have an eager bid, but I guess it's like mixed, but it just doesn't. It's inverted, right? Like I would like these to be moving. I would like the LDPMs to be moving down so that price can get up, and then it would be an upright. But for now it's inverted, although with bullish liquidity. So unlike the last equity we just looked at, perhaps more room to go up, because we don't have any evidence that the ask is flowing to an eager ask. We really only have these organic asks up here with the high order LDPMs. And unlike, remember on Tesla, we saw like all of these, I got to do that again, huh? We saw all of these lower order LDPMs popping up like every time the price rose, all of that eager ask. And here we see that that's not really the case. We're appreciating pretty nicely. And it really only seems like at a point, like this ask steps in and kind of pushes things down. So easy peasy, because now you can follow these kind of inverted bull trap situations until you see this very particular seller enter, and then you can expect movement back down. Seems reasonable, right? The pattern holds until it doesn't, and it looks like right now the pattern is holding. On like a more macro scale of the 90, if we go to like, maybe we want to be conservative, right? We like the 90-minute, but we don't want to constantly be changing, so we go to conservative, and we see, and I got rid of the LDPMs because they can get a little messy with the other, like the lower orders on full opacity. But we see that there's some pretty good evidence that indeed a bullish swing is underway. And of course, LDPM though does tell us that this bullish swing has a potential limit forming, or a potential limit. So where it's kind of like where LDPS is weak, LDPM is strong, and vice versa. I think that they're pretty synergistic together. But again, with the lower order LDPMs, it kind of becomes a little messy. But yeah, bullish is bullish. So, you know, and I imagine there's a lot of TA people that are like, oh, there's like a ceiling right here, right? Area of resistance. And we can see that more distinctly and with higher accuracy, I think, with LDPM. Like significantly higher accuracy. What about the day? So mixed, and not in a too bullish of a sense. We have an eager ask, and we're flowing to the bid, and things are like choppy. So remember, we should still be in conservative, right? So when things kind of get choppy on these like conservative or diamond, it's usually not good. If anything, it means there's a lot of turbulence, because especially the conservative and the diamond are really opposed to switching. And so they really only do it if like convinced. And so when we see these moments of being convinced and then being wrong, and then kind of like where it starts adding up, like to me, that's like step back and watch for a second. I'm not a huge fan of when, especially the conservative mode, can't figure out what the parties in the market are doing. We went to a negative 40 at some point. Oh, yeah. But we see if we zoom out, this is the weekly. On conservative, we see nice, and then we did have bearish, then we got tricked, and then potentially being tricked. And in this setting of being tricked, we have a eager ask that is flowing down to the bid. So this trickery seems to be in actuality, in actualization. So what happened to the daily? Did we see the daily? Conservative, we see a little messy again. And yeah, it looks like, so definitely reminiscent of the bull trap again, because we have, it's like a mixed, but we are bullish and above 80, the neon blue. It just looks messy. Right, so like we can see that as opposed to being nice and bullish above LDPMs, especially the big ones, it's attempting to be bullish while below the big LDPMs and with liquidity flowing to the bid. So I'm inclined to say that this messiness is going to resolve on the downside. And then we can see the 2 hour gives us a little bit of an idea of a ceiling. We see a little bit of that ask coming in, but again, it hasn't really peaked above the price, so it's still working its way. But this paints a picture of movement to like 72, and then on the larger time scales, such as like the daily, that actually puts us with no floor if we bounce off of this attempt, and we do have like this nice eager ask. I guess I did. So downside, I think bull trap to downside for crude oil. Yeah, it just seems like on every level there's this repeating motif of a very potent organic ask right above spot. And then with, where'd LDPM go? With evidence that will likely resolve on the downside. We're still red. We're not popping up too much. Let's see, oil, wheat. Oh wait, I need to look at my, we need to balance the portfolio. The portfolio. So these positions are longer positions, so I tend to only look at the daily, and it's pretty brief. We're flowing to the ask, we're at the ask. We do have a healthy amount of distance between the organic and the eager bid. That obviously represents some room for pullback, but overall, I'm fine with this. We're conservatively bullish, and with my long-term positions, I don't really like to think as a general rule of thumb. So that's about as far into it as I go. I usually stay on the daily, keep things conservative, recognize that if downside is nearby, but as of right now, it doesn't look too concerning, right? Even if it dips, our LDPMs are very nice and upright. Remember, our conservative is bullish, so there's no reason, I'm not gonna doubt it. Like, you know, until like some ask starts popping in, I think I'm fine. And we do see a little bit of ask coming in, this tiny little line, but bullish is as bullish does. We already looked at those. Oh yeah, my little finding in a haystack is going. We're still moving. Excuse me. And we're conservatively bullish. We've got this really nice and this is kind of what I was talking about earlier, where earlier in the week, the price fell, and we can even see like LDPM just kind of kept its trajectory, right? So it fell, and this LDPM didn't shoot up, indicating that there was like a large migration from bid to ask. We do have these lower order ones are kind of shooting up, but meh. This one's doing fine. It'd be nice if... No, yeah. So, and it is inverted, right? This would kind of be the start of an inverted LDPM, because we're bullish. We've started to rise above like the... I consider these three the like 610, 377, 144. Like, to me, those are the organics, and then the smaller ones are kind of like the eager. But that's kind of just how I conceptualize it. I mean, it works with the math, but it's like I don't know if it's all relative, right? So at least for that. So that being said, that this is the indication for me that this is an inverted. So I am expecting movement. I'm expecting the bullish trap to trap, and then hopefully it traps to my benefit. That is the ideal. And then the double ideal would be a short position on the way down. So that's fine for now. We're long that anyway. That's I did buy a SPY put yesterday, but we don't even need to check on that. It's done. That was just in cases. There's a long term. I'm cool with that. I did get that Apple put, but I think it's long dated. I'm just trying to capture some volatility here because liquidity is flowing to the ask, but we're really only being able to make it to the mid. We have a start of an inverted LDPM, so I'm expecting movement to like 214, and then if conditions remain inverted, then movement back up as it is a trap. But we see that there's a good amount of ask, like eager ask present, all these little LDPMs, and then we have this newly since about here, this big chunk of organic ask, and this distance is the eager bid, and we can see that the eager bid's been holding up pretty nicely. It's so much so that it's still flowing to the ask. This eager bid still flowing up, but bearish is as bearish does, and so I still expect movement. So I have I'm really not looking for... I didn't want to time this one just because of how well this eager bid is holding on. So I just got like a super long dated... it's a Vega play. I'm just hoping that if this falls, it kind of ruffles some feathers, IV skyrockets, and then I'll just sell the put. So I'm not really too concerned with the price per se. I just kind of want this liquidity to cause some turbulence. That would be ideal, and it looks like it's on its way to doing that. And the cool thing is, if it doesn't do it on the way down, maybe it'll do it on the way up, since I'm just looking for IV. We do have on the 8-minute SPY, we're still testing LDPM. Looks like we're still doing the same up here. Let's see, Apple, what about Nvidia? Ooh, still going. We do have... The ask is still rising, but those organic bids don't seem too concerned, right? So they're not... So the idea is that the organic bid is fine with an appreciating price as long as the future expectation of the value is greater than the rise in price that they are currently... like assuming. And then at some point, though, there's a period where the where the current price and then the future expected price, or rather like the future expected price isn't above, it's below. So that's when you start getting the organic bid starts becoming the organic ask, and usually an eager ask as they try to profit take. But we don't see that here. We see that the organic bid is fine with the current appreciation, which means that it has a future expectation that is higher than the current price. We see the same on the weekly. Could you have imagined to have had LDPS in 2023? Did we have? I think, but it was in its infancy. LDPS was not what we know it to be today. But look at that. Oh my goodness. Casual 606% since LDPS has gone bullish. And on the weekly, we can even see more so that the ask is really not asking. Like this, you know, we had some here, and then, but we've broken through. We're flowing to the ask. We're at the ask. So the weekly is pretty bullish. Last time there was a reversion, it took us to this is LDPM 89 now, and that was at the time 90. So, you know, these are one of those positions where it's like ultra long-term bullish, but you know, you still might get some chop. And so as much as you know, and again, you could, I think if you came to me and you said, I went long because LDPS was bullish, I'd be like, yeah, that's reasonable, right? And you'll probably be right. I'm almost curious if another test of LDPM 89 happens, and then it might be worth like buying the dip and then proceeding long as usual. So let's see. So basically, let's see if there's any evidence on the lower order that we might get some liquidity drain to push the price down. So again, we did on the daily see this like a little bit of eager ask up here, but that really would only, like, if that came in full force, you're looking at LDPM is right there at 135. So not too much crazy happening on the daily. We're pretty good on the, what's this, the 4 hour as well. We do have, again, we have a pretty local organic bid. Maybe a fall would bring us to 133. This is like a little bit of a mixed. It started out as a bull trap. So this is a bull trap, and we see the organic bid started to rise immediately, and then has thus made it not a bull trap. And so honestly, even the 4 hour is bullish. The market is really just going to see how high a stock can go. This is yeah, that's not, never mind. But the conservative says bullish. That's pretty cool. It's pretty wild. Looks like this ask is still holding on. Let's see, anyone? Any questions? Oh, the New York Stock Exchange is going 22 hours a day. That's beautiful. That's absolutely beautiful. That's so cool. The robot rejoices. Okay, let's see. Anything else happening? Let's look at like the heat maps. Oh, finance not doing good. Are my finance bros okay? What's that X? What's that finance? Is that XLF maybe? Seems fine on the 4 hour. It looks like we're testing LDPM. We did have like a eager ask or eager bid cascade, and then now we got some ask. But it looks like we're hanging out fine at LDPM here. This is the what, 4 hour? Some, you know, short-term concern for movement. You know, got pretty aggressive ask coming in, maybe movement to 45 on XLF. But still bullish, even if it pulls back, right? Like this is another example where, you know, conditions are bullish. We're just kind of being pushed down a little bit. And even if we reach the floor is there. We do have some evidence on the weekly, right? Like this is, but we're still below. But LDPM is moving up. But that's just extra detail, right? It's green. It's above LDPM. So that's bullish on the weekly, bullish on the daily. So even if, you know, it gets a pullback to like 45-ish, I feel like that's fine. And I doubt it would be 45 because it looks like LDPM has a new trajectory. So I wonder if there's like a right? You do like, and then straight down, right? So somewhere in there, we do like straight. So if we straight or go straight down, straight to the right or straight down, you're looking at a support here, like a 45 to 46. So then, you know, we would expect the price to kind of just either do because it's bullish or go like that because it's bullish. So it seems like XLF, at least as a sector, is doing fine. JPM is down 1%. CME. GPM down, testing LDPM, but technically still bullish. Lots of bullish going around, if that's anyone's noticed that theme. Looks like we're still testing. Hey, I want to get like the cross on here. Looks like we're another test of LDPM coming up. It's, let's see what ES on like the 3 minute looks like. Oh yeah, look at that. We're coming down to 58.70. Oh boy, we get to watch it in real time. Looks like the liquidity scanner is showing us that things have indeed turned red on SPY, QQQ, TLT, and Bitcoin. USD Japan, did I always see Japan? USD Yen. Bullish. Do have some eager bid coming in. Eager Ask Cascade. LDPM shot down. This is the eager bid, but it looks like they're struggling to keep the price up. And we can see the ask really like jumped up in this area. So like we hung out for a while. Everyone was fine, but we can see that soon as the price started to dip, we got all this ask up. And then conditions turned bearish. But we're holding on. With a bid, come and save futures. Monster energy drink. It has a $52 billion market cap. What's my market cap? I don't think my market cap has a B on it. What's Timus? Not doing well. Unfortunate. We can see right as the market's closed, conditions became quite bearish. Have proceeded to do so. What's going on the daily? I feel like I never see AT&T here. It was all the rage in Germany. Everyone had T-Mobile. Oh yeah, not AT&T, T-Mobile. Eager bid. Nothing crazy, honestly. I don't think that this looks like short-term pullback. Oh, there was earnings. Probably some just profit taking from that. Let's see if there's any. It looks like eager bid. So near term, nothing too exciting. All right, I'm gonna take a quick break. I'm gonna leave this up, but you can't see me anymore, and I'll be right back. I am back. And we see some movement. Looks like we are falling below LDPM on the 8-minute. I am back. What? And we see some movement. Aha. And movement still moving 858.70. We can see the LDPMs are starting to shift upwards. Nope, there it goes. It's indicating that more of that popping up. So it looks like we're definitely in the decision-making phase of if we are committing to our ask Ovian lifestyle, or which we already knew the answer. So it looks like things are progressing right along. The curious thing will be how things respond at, ooh, and then this is popping up, how things will respond at 587, which is like kind of right where we can see, I'm pointing, we can see up here, it's about this, that's kind of where LDPM is spiking up. Oh, excuse me. Down we go. So today on the 3-minute, say we did this, that'd be 0.2%. That's not bad for a single futures contract. Ooh, now we're moving. Ooh, now we're really spiking. And notice they don't spike the same, right? The five, like the different LDPMs, because they're looking at different data. So, and we still have some bearish liquidity here. Moving down. And we're moving. Yeah, so this will be interesting to see on the 3-minute. If we pass the 3-minute here, then maybe we can go up here to one of these smaller ones. And let's add the 987, which is the highest kind of like way that LDPM can measure. And it's not far, so 587, and then if we break through that, we have the next measurable floor at 5866, at least on this time frame. We can then move up and see, because we have 5860 for, oh, then we have 5850 up on the 5-minute. So we can monitor to see how it responds on the 3. And then again, remember, because this is on the 3-minute, we have an inverted LDPM because we have bearish LDPS, but we see that the stacks are in a bullish stack. And we're starting to get it inverted here. So ultimately, this would be still evidence of a bear trap. But yeah. Yeah, there's not much. I mean, what? That's that. ODPM and LDPS kind of just make it pretty straightforward. There's not much, you don't really got to beat your head against the wall. right? To figure out what the price is going to do. And like, you know, you can, that's the beauty is, again, you can remove all of this, right? And then just follow LDPS and you'll be fine. If you want to know a little bit more about what's going on, you pop LDPM on. You can even smooth it if you don't want it to be too crazy. If you want a more like support and resistance kind of thing, smooth it. We see that where things start acting like nice supports. And so we see that on the 3-minute, kind of the view of moving down to the next support at 58.66 kind of becomes a little bit more clear, especially if things get you know, if there's some charts get crazy LDPMs just because of whatever. Okay, we were conservative, full, declarative, top. We'll do middle-ish. It's getting messy over there. But looks like we're moving. All right, let's hang out and watch this for a minute. Let's see. Let's go crazy. You want to go crazy? Let's go on the. Let's look at what 45 seconds to do one. Ooh. I don't know what that is. Okay, so we got an LDPM up here at 6180. Keep that in mind. Oh, that's the ultra long one. That's right. Okay, that makes more sense. Let's turn you back to a normal. Although, yeah, we have a little too bright there for me, buddy. So, looks like on the 45 seconds, we see bearish started at Friday at 10:30, ended Friday at 12. It's the same day. Oh, that's today. And then bullish, but inverted. So bull trap. And now we're back to bearish. Any questions? What's the 1 second look like? Ooh. That doesn't help. Let's do diamonds since we're... Ooh. That's not good. Okay, let's not do diamond. We'll put that on the list of things that to take care of. Have to make sure the metric works on the 1 second. You never know. This is the 5 second. Oh, okay. Looks like we got an eager bid. Trying to move up to the ask. Yeah, try keeping up with this, right? So this is bullish, right? But we're inverted. If we make it up. Still flowing. Looks like we're flowing to the ask. Oh. Ooh. And we're above and we're done. So quick. Ooh. Oh no. What a shame. Who could have known? That is a real shame. Would you have an eager bid? Not anymore. Eager bid? Not anymore. Eager bid? Not anymore. It's like, ooh, right? You just, if you haven't just sat and watched LDPM and LDPS like this, I actually highly recommend it. Looks like we're going. We're going. We're zooming. Ooh, we're really zooming. We're flowing to the bid. Looks like up here on the, what is that again? 8 minute. Oh no. Oh, eager bid coming in. We'll see if this holds. Looks maybe. Maybe. What? I'd never seen that LDPM shape before. It did not hold if we haven't seen LDPM quickly rose back up. Ooh, maybe another eager bid. Oh, we got some reinforcements. We're flowing to the ask. Oh, is it gonna break it? Is it gonna break? It's still inverted. LDPM is still below. Ooh, is that a shift? Looks like LDPM is shifting up. Ooh, now we got some real ads coming in. Ooh, now we're definitely... This is fun. We're still flowing in the ass. Like, our net movement is still... Things are kind of transitioning to a bid. It looks like that, like, the whoever's sitting at this LDPM 233, that was a hefty ask. LDPMs are moving down. More bid entering. Never mind. Now we're definitely well below this kind of ceiling of ask. And I mean, the expected movement is still down to like 586, right? So this tracks. This tracks. Oh no. I just don't think it was possible to foresee this. So this is, like we said, a pivotal moment. I wish I could split this without also splitting the heat map. Ooh. Reasonable bid entering as expected as we touch this LDPM. LDPM 2 something. No, I think it's 3. At the end of this, I'm gonna be able to name like the first 100 digits of the fib sequence. 377. Looks like 377 is hanging on. Pretty cool. We have an eager bid still, even though we're flowing to the ask, so that things are definitely red. Oh man. Oh no. It's chaos. There was a floor, I think, on the 5-minute, right? With 3. No. Oh, that's right. We broke through that floor. That's right. And then it was to 586 and then fall to 585. Okay, let's go back to the 5-second. That's fun. So this is a upright because we're bearish, and then we have bearish LDPMs are stacked in like that. Oh man. Ooh, she's moving. So if we break through, that would be ideal for some. Don't bother with my typing. I'm not doing anything. Don't look over here. That's gnarly looking. Some ass coming in, or some bid. But like things I would want to see is LDPMs moving down, indicating that as the price was coming in, or as the price was coming down, we were still getting like a flow of bid, like underneath. Because remember, if you see a flow of bid kind of rise underneath the price, but the price is still falling, that's pretty okay, because it's still telling you that there's still a much larger expected value in the future from the organic bid. And so in these moments, you kind of want to see the organic bid moving down with the price, because you don't want them to become like anything else. Essentially, you want a healthy presence of an organic bid, or else you just start with like a free-for-all. Like if you get like a absent bid and eager ask, and you're just flowing all the way down. So it's 5849, a little bit of a bid coming in. And we'll see on, like, I assume on this 5-second, if one of these liquidity levels kind of like gets its teeth in, we'll definitely notice it on the 5 second. Like everything should immediately kind of move down. LDPS becomes bullish. Kind of like this, maybe. So we have these LDPMs are now bullish, or now bids. We have an eager bid coming in. Things flash bullish. It's almost like I do a lot of watching. We're flowing to the ask. We're now meeting between the mid and the ask. That's pretty bullish. So this is the sign that this liquidity level is kind of holding. Let's see how long it holds. Because this is a pretty bearish, and it's 8 minutes and everything else is bearish, so we shall see. We just had a flash, eager bid coming in, and it looked like the inverted LDPM strikes again. And we're back to flowing to the bid. And around we go. Looks like we're still going down. And again, we got lots of activity happening here. We're at the ask, we're flowing to the ask. That disappeared, now we're flowing to the bid. Still flowing to the bid. Still flowing to the bid. Eager, very aggressive ask stepping in. Oof. It's not a sound. People don't make that sound. Down she goes. Hey. Markets are a mystery. I used to call this appearance, I used to call the Batman. It was actually, I think, one of the earliest patterns I started recognizing where I was like, I think there's like these repeating motifs here. And now we know that this is two aggressive asks entering. And my first set of notes on this was that it was correlated with downside, but I didn't know exactly what was happening. But then with some digging, I figured it out. So we're approaching 5,850 on the 8 minute. Looks like we do have some bid entering. So probably like a flat price. We don't have really any flow to the bid anymore, but it's not really flowing to the ask. But we are still like transacting at the ask. So it looks like the bid is not interested in buying lower. So we have these bids coming in. But none of the heavy hitters yet, right? So these are all the eager bids. We would preferably like to see like at least one of these almost, but then we changed our mind. And so notice that the price is moving up and LDPM kind of keeps ticking up like, oh, there we go. transition to organic bid. And we still have the eagers. Up we go. So this is good evidence that this LDPM is a reasonable floor. But we shall see. It would but I say that from the, again, remember, this is like the 5-second perspective. So, you know, take that for what it's worth, because this is the 8-minute. And if we look at the 8-minute, we see we're still overall flowing to the bids. But in the 5-second sense, we are seeing a introduction of a bid. So then it, you know, it begs the question if the 5-second bid is going to outlast the 8-minute ask. Let's find out. We're moving. We are inverted. So that is concern for a bull trap. So let's see. Again, we would like to see LDPM starting to like move up with the price so that it's not, and then uninvert so that it's not inverted anymore. And then we could be confident that this kind of like eager bid that came in has now been supported by organic ask. But we are still moving along. What does this look like on? Let's go to balance. Ooh, excuse me. Pretty much same. Oh, we got double going on. Ooh, looks like we have the eager bid has become eager ask. Are we gonna do it? We're still hanging up in the ask. Looks like we're now flowing to the bid. So obviously we know that downside is likely, right? Because we're still inverted. LDPM has an uninverted. We've lost our flow to the ask. We're now flowing to the bid. And we're so not the most bullish of configurations. So again, when we ask ourselves, is the 8-minute bid going to outlast the 8-minute ask? Probably not. But if you were inclined, this would have been, usually I like in these bull traps, I either like when it tests the ceiling or when you see this like large number of ask in or in, I usually consider that to be like the kind of like, especially these quick scalps, right? Like take my profit and run. So here we are again at the bearish. So still kind of looks like movement to 58.50 is underway. Although this LDPM is moving, it's scooting. So we are up right now. I mean, nah, we're mixed. Right, because it's like kind of sandwiched. Mixed is mixed. There's no like, I don't really dig in like when it's mixed because it's mixed. I usually just do what, and when LDPM is all mixed, so like if there's like high, low, lower, higher, like if the ordering is all wacky, I just go with LDPS. So we're still bearish. We are approaching the ceiling. Ooh, we are still technically inverted though. LDPM seems to not want to commit. Classic. Looks like we are hitting that organic ask. And immediately it siphoned our liquidity. And it's gone. I'm not sure what LDPM is still doing though. Oh, is it working for? I wonder if we're seeing a transition from organic bid to organic ask. That would definitely be a nail in the coffin for movement downwards. Like as in, I think movement downwards would then occur. Ooh, eager bid. Yeah, that bid got eaten. Ass coming in. You see that bid pushed everything down, and then price didn't even move, and then liquidity disappeared. Wonder what that was. Oh wow. They're definitely eager ask. So now we're moving. Oh. So we're mixed. And LDPS is bearish, so definitely looks like, remember the LDPM is now representing an ask, and so downside is still on. We should imagine using your substance of choice every time I say downside today. Ooh, look at us go. I kind of want to, it would be interesting if we test the 8-minute, because I want to see kind of what happens after that. We're still mixed. This would be like mixed bearish, because the neon blue is above. I don't know. Seems like reasonable nomenclature. Flowing to that, we still have the Ziegler bid though. Ooh. We gonna survive? We're surviving. We don't see no eager ask yet. There we go. There it is. It was quick. I don't know if you caught it. It was quick. But LDPM is about to become an organic floor. Perhaps not today. Ooh, now we're definitely moving away from price. All right, let's watch this for the next few minutes. Alrighty, that was pretty fun to watch. It looks like we are testing the floor now. We have a good amount of these eager bids coming in. LDPS is switched for now, so it'll be fun to watch how things respond. But notice too that as the moment the price kind of touched LDPM, these LDPMs came down, right? Because this is still inverted, but that means that that bid is on its way. We can see it kind of moving in on the 8-minute. We can definitely see it moving in here on the 5-second, without a doubt. This is still mixed bullish now. We can denote mixed bullish as MB. Remember, mixed bearish was MB. And we're flowing to the ask. It looks like we're predominantly meeting at the ask. So it would be cool if these start changing, that would be a pretty nice indication that this is holding as a LDPM line. And so we'll see, but I'll end it here. I'll be back on Monday to look at the market, especially maybe if with this 24-hour thing, maybe I'm going to become a nighttime trader. I'm a night owl anyway. The only reason I ever see the sun is because I also am looking at the market. But if I could look at the market and not see the sun, well, that might be... Okay, so this didn't work. We might need to rename MB to MB. We're now losing. But it'll be exciting. But look, it's kind of like we're still trying to figure out. But it's fine. That was a good little move to catch today. And so maybe on Monday there will be more. If you like this kind of thing, let me know. If you want me to go over LDPM and LDPS some other kind of way, let me know. But unless there's anything else, I'll check like the chat and stuff real quick. But unless there's anything else, I am going to skedaddle. I got to work on this robot upgrade. But we're now in like the debugging stage, and as much as I love TradingView, debugging is not the most fun. So I kind of got to go do that. Oh, look at that. That is an eager bid. We'll see if it lasts. But all right, guys. I'll see you. Thanks for stopping by, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.